welcome to India Mart Leaders of Tomorrow, only on ET Now. It's the series that puts the spotlight on India's most promising small and medium enterprises. So let's begin today's journey with a company from New Delhi that's experimenting with Asian cuisines, offering its own unique twists. In 2010, childhood friends Rahul Anand and Kabir Suri decided to start their own venture in the food and beverage industry. The result was Azure Hospitality, and it led with their flagship brand Mama Goto. An innovative and quirky joint for fun Asian eating, it reflects their own personalities and is an enjoyable space for customers. In the next couple of years, what's your vision for Azure Hospitality?
I think Azure as a company is only going to grow. I mean, we're currently, this coming March, should be touching about 40 crores as top line turnover.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to all of you at ET Now presents India Mart Leaders of Tomorrow Regional Awards 2013. Over the last 4 years, this has become the most significant platform for Indian SMEs, and a testimony to that is the participation for the awards this year. We've received over 1 lakh nominations from SMEs all over the country. So to increase the scope and to reach out to every corner of India, we've launched the regional edition of these awards. I was in fact going through this report by the Boston Consulting Group that said that over 90% of Indian SMEs have no access to internet, as opposed to 22% in China and only about 5% in the US. Mr. Singh, what do you think Indian SMEs can do to leverage technology better without sort of spending too much on it?
My sense is that I think any business today that is not leveraging technology or taking a call of its own business vis-a-vis what's happening in the technology space is probably going to get more and more isolated going forward.
The other problem that SMEs constantly face is that of finding and retaining talent. Now, because let's face it, good talent does come at a price. So what's the way around that? Usually a lot of them don't have a very structured organizational hierarchy in place. How can you retain and attract the best of the talent?
I think first of all you have to sell your dreams to people. Don't forget that as much as you have dreams, the youngster, the employee also have dreams. I mean 99% of the people don't take up a job because they want a job.
Well, we also have a very special guest of honor tonight, a man who epitomizes excellence in every way. He heads one of India's leading business groups with interests in telecom, retail, realty, agri-products and financial services. A Padma Bhushan awardee, he's known not just for his sharp business acumen, but also for being one of the world's top 25 philanthropists. Please join me in welcoming on stage our guest of honor tonight, Founder, Chairman and Group CEO of Bharti Enterprises, Mr. Sunil Mittal. Well, our next category tonight is a technical and highly specialized field, that of electrical and electronics. The leader of tomorrow in this category is Vari Energies. Please welcome on stage the Chairman and Managing Director of the company, Vari Energies is just 5 years old but has carved a niche for itself in the renewable energy space. Hello and welcome to Managing Waste, Today's Imperative, a special discussion on ET Now. What kind of an environment and health disaster are we heading to?
Well, it's a very serious situation that we are facing, because a lot of this waste is also the breeding ground for all kinds of disease. And what's worse is it's also taking away a large part of valuable space.
Kandarp Singh, we have some policies in place. Do you think it's just an enforcement problem, or do our policies lack vision?
Of course, policy legislation enforcement is very important, and the lack of enforcement even creates more havoc in the system. But I fundamentally believe it starts from the mindset.
Shabana, what about empowerment of the municipal authorities themselves? Do you think they are empowered enough in terms of infrastructure, in terms of manpower to deal with the whole scale of this problem?
You see, I find it quite amazing that the Municipal Corporation of Mumbai really is the richest body. And yet, when I was working as an MP and trying to clean up the Juhu beach, which was 4 kilometers of a stretch of beach, and cleaning it up, all our appeals fell on deaf ears because they said they didn't have the resources.
Electronic waste has been growing in India at an alarming pace of over 13% annually, and it's currently estimated to be at about 1 million tons. The Union government finally notified and implemented India's first e-waste handling rules last year. So 1 year on, we're going to find out how effective has this legislation really been. Debashish, you're the only government voice that we have here. Let's begin with your perspective. How successful has the legislation been in the last 1 year?
Every legislation has a flip side in our country. I mean, unless the enforcement is transparent and uniformly followed across all the states, there are certain lacunas that everybody will face a problem.
Radhika Kalia, over 80% of the e-waste generated in India is by the white goods industry. Do you think manufacturers need to play a greater role here?
From a compliance perspective, most of the producers, if we talk about e-waste, most of them in durable industry in India are multinational companies, and they are abiding and they are very cautious about the compliances across the globe.
Clearly, India has a long way to go as far as sustainable e-waste management is concerned. Very interesting perspectives coming up here from the industry, from the government, from recyclers. The biggest onus lies on us as consumers to make educated choices. Don't just dispose of that mobile phone into the dustbin. Go hand it over to the nearest authorized recycler. Thank you all very much for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, with our entire panel right here on stage, I would now like to hand over the session to our moderator, Ms. Mridu Bhandari, to kindly take it forward from here.
Very warm welcome to this special panel discussion as part of the Skill Tree Education Evangelist of India series on ET Now. Now, over the last 3 decades, Indian higher education has seen a revolution of sorts with over 33,000 institutes in the country today and about 600 universities. In fact, India has the 3rd largest higher education system in the world today. But despite all of this, are we all really equipped to deal with the changing face of global education? What needs to be done to make India a preferred destination for higher education? And what do India's higher education institutes need to do to contribute to the global knowledge economy? Mr. Desai, do you think there is a dichotomy between what is being taught at our higher education institutes and what the industry is expecting out of the students?
Yes, there is a dichotomy. And I think it comes because of the obsession with certification rather than the process of education that results in certificates and therefore degrees being doled out without that meaning anything. And so therefore there is a gap between what is expected and what is delivered.
Over 70% of India's higher education institutes churn out students who have gone through medium or low quality education even by India's own standards. Do you think the industry, like, the film industry has taken a step, you've taken one step in that direction. Do you think industry needs to take more steps as far as education is concerned?
Yes, of course, industry has to take more steps, tapping the right talent, giving them the right kind of path, right kind of a school, right kind of training, right kind of workshops, interactive sessions, encouragement.
So over the next half hour, we're going to explore the many facets of new age construction and find out why and how it is going green. A developing economy, an ever-burgeoning urban population, and the lifestyle of a new and younger urban India are leading to a huge demand for real estate. Infrastructure that is indispensable to India's growth story, that stands the test of time and yet does not become a burden on the ecosystem. Hello and welcome to our special show, Transforming Spaces. Over the next half hour, we'll explore the mesmerizing world of interiors and discover how design and technology are transforming the spaces that we live and work in. The modern Indian home and workplace are no longer just about functionality. They're also all about elegance, style, and technology. From color themes to lighting to innovative furniture, the average Indian is today taking a keen interest in designing the spaces around him. And driving this are the urban consumers' discerning tastes in interior decor.